Well, good morning and welcome to our beautiful virtual sanctuary at Center for Spiritual Living Paradise, broadcasting here on Zoom and on Facebook Live. And I'm Molly, and I want to welcome you all here today. So glad to see you and to celebrate this beautiful, beautiful October Sunday. We teach principles and tools to deepen your relationship with the infinite source, whatever you call that for yourself. We believe in the individualization of the spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one spirit. We believe that the universal spirit, which is God, operates through a universal mind. And it is that we are surrounded in this creative mind, which receives our thoughts and acts upon them. Very powerful, wonderful things. And we believe in the goodness and the loving kindness and the givingness of life to all, without exception. So I want to thank Rod ahead of time for providing our music this morning. And I'm going to turn it over now for an opening prayer treatment by Reverend Christine.
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So here we are, and I invite you to just center in and take a deep breath. Feel your feet on the floor and allow your eyes to begin to close if you're comfortable with that. Feeling the breath moving through your body, and as we begin in knowing that God is all there is. That the infinite, intelligent spirit that I call God is universal, invisible, intelligent divine energy, an all-knowing power that is everywhere present, beyond space and time, and yet with its energy, the only energy that there is, it fills and expresses as all creation. And so I know that I am one with this infinite universal presence. It is the very essence of who and what I am. And so my body breathes deeper, fuller, more relaxed. I feel this beautiful energy of peace, of freedom, of love, of joy, of infinite possibilities and divine potential closer than my very breath. And knowing that I am one with all things, with the Creator, with this spirit of life, I declare right here and right now that there is power in my word. That the universal Creator is the image and the likeness that I have been made out of. That I am a co-creator with the Infinite One. And so I relax into the possibilities that are here for me this morning. I know that our time together, our Sunday celebration service, unfolds with ease and grace and possibilities, and that this infinite love of the Spirit is swirling all around, everywhere present, in and through and as each one here. whether that be by Facebook or Zoom or a future recording, that there is only one life and that life is present now. And so we just let go and celebrate, feeling our oneness, stepping into an open heart, a teachable mind, and one that celebrates the oneness and the beauty of life. So I give thanks that this is what our morning is about, and that it is unfolding in the highest and the best way for everyone present. I give thanks. I let it be so. And together we affirm, and so it is.
And I know that love is present because we are here in this very room. In this very room, there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. There's quite enough faith and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For spirit, sweet spirit, is in this very room. In this very room, there's quite enough love for all of us. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all of us. And there's quite enough faith and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For spirit, sweet spirit, is in this very room. And in this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough faith and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For spirit, God's Spirit, is in this very room. In this very room. This very room. Hallelujah.
Beautiful. Riding on the heart-opening words of that beautiful song and the words of Reverend Christine, I'd like to dedicate today's meditation to the Venerable Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh, who will have his 95th birthday tomorrow. So let's settle back into this moment, this beautiful moment in this very room, your very room, and settle into the room of our heart. Again, softly closing your eyes, if that's comfortable for you. And just deepen your breath for a couple of rounds as you turn your attention inward. Inhaling fully, exhaling completely. Feeling the weight of your body in the chair, resting on the body of the planet. And feel that energetic aliveness and support of the earth beneath you as you drop into beingness. Release any to-dos, any thoughts or expectations of what might be to come or what was. And as you inhale, you can imagine you're breathing in the very gift of life itself. That you are being sustained breath by spirit, the one breath that breathes the world alive moment by moment. And as you exhale, letting go of any noticeable distractions or tensions, judgments or thoughts that may keep you from being fully present in this moment. And just let your breathing bring you back to your home within. Allow your breath to drop your awareness from your head, that place of thinking and analyzing, down into your heart, the place of feeling and integration and knowing. And listen there to the heartbeat of God. Allow your heart to open and yield to the divine presence within. For it's through the heart that we see through the veil of illusion of any separateness. In that inner spaciousness where your senses, your mind, and your soul meet in oneness. Where your sacred heart is one with the immeasurable creative force of the universe, which can be called love. And know that there is a sacred stream of light and love that runs within you, a river of love that comes from source and connects you to all of life. Just allow yourself to become aware of the divine presence of love within you, however it expresses itself to you. And take a moment to acknowledge what it is you are feeling right now. Not trying to change it, just honoring the truth of your experience in this moment. Making space for it on the altar of your heart. The mystics tell us that the infinite source of compassion dwells in the heart center, the energetic heart center. As was written in The Little Prince, he says, "And now this is my secret, a very simple secret. It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye." And this compassionate heart, the center of love, is all important and allows us to truly see the heart and beauty in all things, in all experience. Just know that you are an integral part of the dynamic creativity of the universe, and you are so deserving of the unlimited prosperity of spirit that is abundant and available in each breath, in each moment. Breathe and know that you are the world. When you breathe for yourself, you breathe for the world. Breathe and you dwell in the here and now, in the present. Breathe, and all you touch with your awareness is new and real. And now in this moment, offer kindness inwardly with a blessing to yourself, reminding yourself of your divine identity. I am infused and surrounded by an infinite intelligence, and I exist in the energy of beauty, truth, wisdom, and love. I am safe. I am loved. I am enough. I am powerful and abundant. Take refuge in that unconditional love, wisdom, and healing power here in the cave of your heart, knowing that all hearts are connected to the one heart of the universe. And now you may wish to bring a hand to your heart center, sensing your heart's openness, and send your wishes and prayers and blessings to all beings. May all beings in all possible universes be filled with loving kindness and compassion. And know that your awareness of your true nature as love itself raises the vibration of love in the world. And when you're ready, take a nice, full, deep breath. And gently open your eyes and see the world as love. Namaste.
Namaste, Molly. Thank you. You're on mute, Rod.
Thank you very much. Anyway, I invite you to put on a happy face and join me on the sunny side of the street. Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear a pitter-pat? Know that happy tune is your step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade. Now I'm not afraid. This teaching has won me over. If I never ever had a cent, I'd be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. Here's a solo instrumental. Are you smiling yet? Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Bum boom do dum 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 do 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 do. Oh yes, I used to walk in the shade with those blues on parade. Now I'm not afraid. This teaching has won me over. If I never, ever, ever, ever have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side, yeah, on the sunny side, on the sunny side, the sunny side of the street. Oh, yeah. You have no idea what was going on with me because my cord on my player unplugged, and I couldn't understand why I was getting no power. So I was frantic. So it worked out good. Okay.
It was beautiful, Rod. It was absolutely, yes, and I was smiling.
Yes, and it was such fun, Rod, such fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, lots of smiles. So, that's one way to unlock your spiritual potential. Doing what you love unlocks your spiritual potential. So I'm curious. How is everybody? Now I know on Zoom, it's hard to, nearly next to impossible to, like we would do in a class, to answer that question. But by asking it, what I really want you to know is that I'm really curious. And oh, Marissa, she's using the reaction button down on my screen there, down at the bottom, and she gave a thumbs up. And it's been quite a time, hasn't it? And I know we have had so many things going on the last, well, I'm gonna say forever, because it's because it's always something. But there was that line in the sand moment of the campfire. And just as we thought experientially and in the physical realm, the human experience realm, just as we thought that things were smoothing out, and especially the survivors of the campfire that were relocating and such, and the changes that it brought on for Chico and the housing market and so many things, just as things were seeming to smooth out, along comes the coronavirus and the pandemic and shutdown, which I don't know, probably is something none of us have ever experienced, anything like that. And we had just started meeting, having 5 Sundays at the Lotus Guide, and getting our feet on the ground with that. And I think that even though electronically and meeting by Zoom and doing Facebook Live, and there, electronically, there's infinite potential, and certainly more that could be unlocked in terms of what we're doing. But it seems that the next step of that is to begin to broadcast from back in Paradise from the Lotus Guide Center, and to maybe after 1 week of trial, doing it from there, then opening the doors and being open to people coming in. So what that really would mean is that I'll no longer be alone in the room, and there'll be some people. And in terms of safety precautions, we haven't worked that out specifically yet, but that'll all be communicated with everyone. And for a while, the hope was October, and with our new class starting and the things that I'm managing, we need to push it back a little bit. So I see no reason that we can't do that in November. and maintain our online community and give people lots of choices. So that's what I'm looking at for the near future and going into the end of the year, and trusting. And I absolutely know that the next step of whatever it is that we're faced with unlocks our individual spiritual potential and also for the center as well. And that we really do have, for the town of Paradise itself, we really do have a lot to offer. And I think that as the town continues to rebuild, that in some way, shape, or form, being present and being engaged in some way in the town is what we're called to do. It's our mission, it's our vision, it's our mission. And I'm really clear about the consciousness with which, the spiritual consciousness with which we do that. And that the more engaged I am and we are collectively, and grounded and anchored in the spiritual principles that we believe in, that we don't have to worry about the future. We don't have to try to from a like, oh, I have to fix this, or a struggle or anything like that. We just don't need to live that way in any area of our lives. And would you agree with me, by a wave of a hand or something, would you agree with me as you look back on your life long ago and all the way up to present, that every single thing that you've experienced, no matter how wonderful it's been and no matter how awful it has been, that you can see that every single experience and situation has given you an opportunity to unlock more of your spiritual potential? Oh, some are waving two hands. Yeah. I was just scrolling through the grid of Zoom to see how you were responding to that. Okay, so I'm going to stand up now. And that's where I want to begin for the rest of the time that I have to share with you. So let me adjust my camera. Basically, foundationally, I enjoyed standing up last week, so I'm going to, give me a sec, take the time to do that so you're not looking at my fan. So, by the way, just looking at this on my notes and stuff, I'm going to have cataract surgery tomorrow morning in my left eye. And I'm highly, I have great expectations for the outcome of that, and what it's going to be like for me next Sunday, looking at the screen and looking at my notes. So I want to start by sharing with you one of the 10 principles that the Science of Mind teaching, that this movement is based upon. And it's about halfway down the list of the 10, and it's called the creative process. So we believe that everything, universally and in the physical realm, is cause and effect. That there is a cause to every effect. Now, what comes to my mind about that is that before I really started diving into this teaching and these principles, I was living into to every effect there is a cause. But the experience of cause and effect was solely pretty much at the level of the physical experience. And the cause that I was identifying prior to stepping into Science of Mind, and I'm not saying that as soon as I stepped into it that automatically I was shifting everything. I was in the creative process, and I was learning, and I was uncovering what it was that I was really believing in that was the cause to the effect that I was experiencing, and then practicing, doing the spiritual practice that led me to be able to choose a greater idea and ground myself in that, knowing and identifying the spiritual qualities that were operating through what I desired to experience. And that has been a continual process going on. Well, it's been at least 30 years. That's been a continual process of spiritual growth, and more and more and more unlocking the spiritual potential that is within me, the same that's within you and within all people. And accepting that this is what life is about. And because we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and we can look back and, as you all affirmed, that yes, that you can look back and see that you have grown and that you have unlocked potential within yourself as a result of every challenge, every opportunity that has come into your experience. So this principle is, in short, in 2 words, love and law. The universe operates on love and law. And it's described like this: the one infinite reality operates through the universal law of cause and effect. The universal law is impersonal, it's automatic, and it's intelligent. Now, what that means to what's coming up for me in that is that the universal law operates, that it's impersonal, personal, and automatic, and it operates according to what I believe. And it doesn't say, oh, well, she was extra good yesterday, or it doesn't judge. It's impersonal. It's a universal law that responds automatically. The universal law receives the direct impress of Spirit's intelligence and acts upon it, bringing it into form. Individuals, and that each one of us as individuals, that we have this same process of love and law. We use the creative process to shape our experience in alignment with the whole, perfect, and complete reality according to our belief. this universal law, but this is something that I think is so inspiring and comforting. The universal law can only unfold and create according to my belief. But because the universal law is intelligent and grounded in wholeness and unconditional love and harmony and order and peace and beauty, because it is a universal intelligent law, it is always unfolding for my highest good, no matter what it looks like. So when the same opportunities in a challenge, in something that we're dealing with continues to show up, changing form, but continuing to show up, it is what is showing up is still showing up for our highest good. And that includes tragedies. So there is no thing that could happen in this world that will change that fact. And the worst experience that anyone could have in that experience is this universal intelligent law. Even if the outcome is one that is caused to our transition, our death, our dying, and moving into a different experience, we take everything, our individualized consciousness, we take it all with us and continue to create some way, somehow in this creative process. So knowing that seems to me that everything that is happening is about awakening to what's really going on. What is this about for me? Healing. The more we awaken, the more we become conscious. And in this teaching and practice the principle of knowing, for instance, everything that Molly said, affirmed in her meditation, the things that I affirmed in my opening prayer treatment. That no matter what I'm experiencing out here, that as I awaken in consciousness and become peace, power, love, beauty, joy, harmony, life, light, open to possibilities, grounded, knowing that all is well, grounded, anchored like a tree in the roots of this universal truth, then the way that I respond changes. And I can look at what's going on and I can say, this is giving me the opportunity to do more healing. To ask myself in this situation, what do I believe about it? What do I believe about myself in terms of being capable, in terms of handling this? Is it all doom and gloom? Or do I live on the sunny side of the street where I have the consciousness of abundance, prosperity? And that then by law, universal creative law, provides everything that I need. My belief is the cause to the experience. Awakening and healing provides reconciliation. That's the most beautiful, for me, has been one of the most beautiful, amazing parts. that as these false beliefs heal in me and I let go of any sense of, I continue that healing process, letting go of inadequacy, letting go of any beliefs that there's not enough or I'm not enough. And through doing daily spiritual mind treatment, praying in the affirmative, God is I am. I am the love of God. There is something beautiful that is showing up in my life this day. And the healing is that every time the trigger of something that might throw us into I'm not enough, where we have reactions of inadequacy and, we start to blame or try to fix something or control it, or we withdraw because we don't want to deal with it. We are inhibiting that. All of those ways of reacting are inhibiting our healing. And it just happens over and over and over again until we recognize that's a trigger. I've been triggered. I've responded. And we choose the higher thought. All is well. I don't have to withdraw. I can show up. I don't have to fix it. I'm grounded in whatever the question is, the answer is within me. And show up, simply show up in the consciousness of these spiritual qualities. And the more that we do it, the more that we are consciously practicing this creative process, we unlock this spiritual potential within us that just brings us great joy, confidence. Our endorphins become enlivened. We can see things that we formerly may have blamed or fought with or said, this is terrible and this is wrong. And so many opportunities that we've had in the last 3 years to see what arises, to see all of the things in that, we started out talking about: the campfire, the pandemic, the political situation. To where we become so embroiled in the problem that our inner cup of receiving greater inspiration, of having that feeling of oneness with this universal intelligence and letting it flow through us. See, we have to provide an empty cup. We've got to let go of that stuff. And yes, it appears so real, and to a degree it is, but it's still an effect in the physical world, and it's going to change. No matter how much we fight with it, struggle, push against it, or withdraw from it, it's going to change. All by itself. It's going to continue to unfold for the highest good, according to our belief, according to how much we can just sit back, let go, pull our fingers out of it, no matter what it is. And we'll know if we're being called to do that because we'll feel stress in some way or another around the situation. And sit and wait until we know what is ours to do. Until we can feel that we're grounded and anchored in the consciousness of spirit's qualities. And one step at a time, it's like drip, 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 drip into the law, the creative medium that receives the impress of our thought and acts upon it. A couple of weeks ago, I looked out my kitchen window and it was 5, 6 o'clock. And there at the end of the dead end street, and I'm right at the end, there were 5 vehicles that all had this company that I had never seen before about water removal and restoration, all at the end of the street. And I could see that they were going into 2 houses away from me. Well, this particular house is occupied by a couple that have their primary home in Vallejo. And they just come here to the house. They come frequently, but they are not there full time. And I had noticed that they hadn't been here for quite a while. So I was, and I couldn't see if their truck was parked there immediately. Well, I knew something was wrong. And it wasn't, I hadn't been able to connect with her. There's been a lot of work that's been going on over there. But I spoke with my other neighbor the other day and I asked him, hey, I haven't been able to talk with them, and what's been going on? And he said, well, they hadn't been here for a month. And I said, well, I didn't know how long, but I knew it had been quite a while that they hadn't been here. And so she came up at the end of the day and went in and found that the whole house was flooded with 2 inches of water. And so over the last 2-3 weeks, the work has been continuous on the house because the water went 2 inches up from the baseboard. So they're having to cut the wall, the sheetrock, and up and replace all of that throughout the whole house, which is probably about maybe about 1,500 or 1,600 square feet. So I said, well, how did this happen? Well, it was determined that the small water line to the ice maker broke off. And so the water line was dripping through the refrigerator. Now, I'm not exactly sure. Well, my neighbor said that it had been 1 month since they had been there. So we don't really know when it actually broke. But whatever period of time it is, what I started to think about was one drip, one drop of water. The ice maker could only drop 1 drop at a time. And if it took the whole month, in 1 month, 1 drop of water, 24 times 7, filled the entire house with 2 inches of water. Now that's amazing to me. 1 drop. And so I began to equate that to one thought. Well, how quickly is the one thought, let's say, God is all there is, or infinite divine intelligence is right where I am as this situation? Do we think it once in a while and then wait 3 days or 4 days or 24 hours? Can we, through our spiritual practice and really understanding that the creative medium of spirit is always listening, always receiving. It never goes to sleep. And because we're one with it, it is always receiving the direct impress of our thought. So I want to change my thought sometimes in certain areas, or I want to increase it, or I want to unlock my divine potential even more. So I use what's not working and change my thought, and to the best of my ability, one thought, then choosing another thought and another, withdrawing from action, withdrawing from accusation, withdrawing from the sense that I'm not enough or there's not enough, that this problem is too overwhelming, and sitting in that one drop, one drop, one drop that is dripping into the universal intelligence of the law of mind, the aspect of spirit. God is my source of good, according to my belief in it and acceptance of it. Awakening happens one thought at a time. Healing happens by changing the way that we're responding or thinking about ourselves or a situation, and choosing a higher thought, being clear about what it is that how we want to show up in regard to this, whether it's in our personal life or the level of the world and the planet. Because let's face it, everything that we're dealing with is all of the things that just feel overwhelming and difficult that are happening, and all of the sense of separation and divide is calling for a healing. It's showing us. And if we're having a big challenge in our life or a little challenge in our life, it's the call. It's saying, hey, wake up and heal this. So that in that process, there is reconciliation with the truth. And we're all in this together. In our lives, in the life of the center, and how that perpetuates in the world, in everything. And isn't it a relief to know that we don't have to just get all involved in controlling and changing and fixing and trying to figure it out? That's so freaking exhausting, isn't it? Yeah. So, in closing, I want to share with you a poem by David Whyte, and it's called Everything is Waiting for You. Your great mistake is to act the drama as if you were alone, as if life were a progressive and cunning crime with no witness to the tiny hidden transgressions. To feel abandoned is to deny the intimacy of your surroundings. Surely, even you at times have felt the ground awry, the swelling presence, and the chorus crowding out your solo voice. You must note the way the soap dish enables you, or the window latch grants you freedom. Alertness is the hidden discipline of familiarity. The stairs are your mentor of things to come, The doors have always been there to frighten you and invite you. And the tiny speaker in the phone is your dream ladder to divinity. Put down the weight of your aloneness and ease into the conversation. The kettle is singing, even as it pours you a drink. The cooking pots have left their arrogant aloofness and see the good in you at last. All the birds and creatures of the world are utterly themselves. Everything is waiting for you. One drip at a time. We are so blessed. We are so prospered. Because we say so. Because we have the power to be the Word of God in our own life experience. And so it is. Thank you. Love the feedback. Oops, I have to share my screen before I do that. Okay, hang on. There we go. Larry would be very proud of me.
As are we. Okay, this is our time for giving, our opportunity to share financially with our center and this wonderful teaching. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I give, all that I have, and all that I receive. And together we affirm passionately 3 times. I give joyfully with a consciousness of abundance. I give joyfully with a consciousness of abundance. And I give joyfully with a consciousness of abundance. And so it is. Amen.
And so I know that the presence and the power of this infinite, universal presence that is alive, alert, awake, and aware to its wholeness, its goodness, its life force, its creativity, its power, its freedom, its unconditional love is that which enfolds and unfolds the nature of my being. And so I dive in because I know that it is awaiting me. Its beauty, its magnificence, its peace. It is the truth of who I am. And the more that I participate and align and affirm one drip at a time that God is and I am, it is easy to let go and to let God unfold in and through and as everything in my life that I am in relationship with. And so I give great thanks as I let this be, and so it is.